Now, in my last video, you heard me talking about the Jesuit order and the Freemason order. Within their oaths, they talk about how they trying to hurt us and try to kill us. This is what they sign up for actively, right? They put their name on the dotted line on that, okay? So if you're not familiar, they are described as being Kabbalah for Gentiles. And guess who created the Jesuit order? It was Pope the Third. That's right, the Pope. The Pope created a demonic organization and they named it the Jesuits. Their religion and their Talmud that they study literally encourages people to do things in their organization, to do things to little children who are of the age of 8 and under. Don't use your imagination. They are just told to do things to kids that are 8 years old and under. I don't want to spend too much time talking about this subject, but it's very important to know the history, okay? Because it directly affects you today. Did you know that Mr. Donald Trump had a personal Kabbalah teacher, right? He openly talks about it in his book that he released. And he said that the information that he was getting was so heavy that he had to take breaks from it. So yes, Trump studying the Kabbalah out in the open. Because I know it's hard to connect the dots sometimes between the religious aspects and the politic aspects, but this is a direct correlation. You can even see Donald Trump wearing that little hat that he wears sometimes. You can see him wearing that. He don't try to hide it from you. Now you see why something like the Noahide laws are more of a threat, because it's coming from a specific group of people, right? And Trump is buddies with the same specific group of people, right? And you are not allowed to talk about this specific group of people because it is going to be against the law to talk about this one specific group of people. While you can make all the racist black jokes you want, all the Chinese people can't drive jokes you want, all the white people this and that, and all, you can make fun of any other culture. But this specific group of people you are not allowed to talk about. And the fact that I got to keep saying these people and I can't say the name of this group lets you know how much they have infiltrated our government now. These sun-worshiping pagans then turn around and try to guilt trip everybody using Zionism. But there's a common denominator between all of these satanic organizations and our government officials, and it's the Roman Catholic Church. Now, I know people that claim to be Catholics, and this is not about them. A lot of those people are good people. This is about the foundation itself. Now, if you don't already know, the Roman Catholic Church is deeply entrenched with government agencies, right? Even going back to the Pope Pius XII, he was praying over both sides of the military war in World War II, praying that either side kills more people so their side can win. But he's praying over both of them at the same time. So that brings me to our main subject. Have you ever wondered why specific agencies that are partnered with the Roman Catholics use a specific map in their logo? Organizations like the World Health Organization or the United Nations themselves, right? These global organizations, they use a specific map in their logo. And some of the displays on their map, they literally have a snake going across the whole thing, right? And they're all surrounded by these reefs, right? These are Lucifer reefs. No pun intended, Lucifer reefs. There's a joke somewhere in there. Did you know you can't freely explore 66.6 degrees north or 66.6 degrees south without getting prior permission? And only then there's only little specific locations you can go to, right? 666, okay? Did you know if you take the same map, some of your overlays don't make sense according to your destination that you're going to? The overlay be somewhere totally different. It gets even worse. Check this out. There's about 25 emergency airplane landings that these people had to make, right? 25 emergency landings. Some of these emergency landings added thousands of miles to the detour, right? Some of them don't even look logical, right? But when you overlay these emergency landings on this map that's being flaunted out on these logos, it makes perfect sense. And just to name a few, there was a flight from Taiwan to LA where a woman started to give birth. So they had to make an emergency landing, but guess where they landed? They landed in Alaska. That's a huge detour. But if you overlay that onto the flat map that these government agencies have, it's a perfect straight shot. But what about the one flight from Dubai to Seattle? They had an emergency landing, and guess where they landed? They landed in Russia. It makes no sense on the map that they gave us, but if you overlay it on the government map that they use in their logo, it's a straight perfect shot. Let me just briefly reiterate what we're talking about right here, family. Okay, we're talking about emergency flight landings, where you gotta set the plane down as fast as possible. You look at the map that they gave us, it don't make no sense. But if you match it up on the map that they use on their logo, it's a straight direct shot. Now, family, before I show you what I need to show you, I want to open up with a scripture. But before I do that, I want to give all praise to the Almighty Yahuwah. I understand that some people pronounce his name a little differently. This is not about that, though. This is about exposing something that I feel privileged enough to come in contact with through many nights of prayers. I'm very privileged, humble, and excited about the fact that I get to share this with everybody. Let's go to Colossians chapter 3, verse 12 real quick. These are the traits that we must have. It says meekness, long-suffering, kindness, but humbleness of mind. We must be humble, family. We must be humble enough to accept the fact that we might not know everything. We must be humble because the Almighty will be trying to show us something, because his force is still active. To this day, family. Psalms chapter 89 verse 37 says he established the moon forever to serve as what though? A faithful witness in the sky. Genesis 1:14, Yahuwah set the lights in the firmament to serve as what though? To serve as signs and seasons for the days and years. This is what they call the Moedim in Hebrew, the appointed times, the feasts. This is Yahuwah's calendar, family. And for a second, don't get caught up on the name Yahuwah. We're talking about the Almighty from the Bible, family. The moon cycles never break. We go from new moon, waxing, full moon, waning, and then back in reverse, non-breaking. So when Psalms 89:37 says that the moon stands as a witness to all the nations, it's not just talking about the schedule. It's not just talking about the time. It's not just talking about the calendar, even though that's very important. And this just shows you how mighty and spectacular the Almighty actually is, how creative he is. It's been in our face the whole time, right under our noses. Now you can understand why the elites feel so confident and comfortable waving that flag around, because they know most people are not paying attention. And if you start to wake up, they know that this flag on their logo gives just enough breadcrumbs to satisfy the ones who are not hungry. But I'm hungry. I'm ready to eat, family. Yahuwah said to verify everything. So why is this so important right now more than any time in history? It's because what they're planning to do, family. They're planning to stage an alien invasion. And they know that if you understand what the Almighty created, you're not going to fall for it. What the mainstream has been feeding everybody through the propaganda and all the movies and all the documentaries about aliens, all of that has been foreshadowed by what they used to call demon. There is no getting in or out of the firmament unless Yahuwah gives you authority to do so, and they do not have the authority to do so. So with that being said, thank you one more time to Yahuwah for showing me these things, and thank you for my wife for her patience. Let's begin. It's been under our nose the whole time, family. If you've ever wondered why the face of the moon never changes, when it's supposed to be rotating at 10 miles an hour. It's because we've been looking at our geography the whole time, family. Every beach, every landmass, known and unknown. All you had to do was look up. My favorite position has been Australia because it's the most noticeable, right? Once you see Australia, you can pretty much navigate from there. This is the beauty that they've hidden from us. It's been above our heads the whole time. The Almighty Yahuwah said that in the end times, information will increase. Do you understand what we are looking at? I'm trying my hardest to keep my composure. This is it, family. Everything that we know is above our head on the moon the whole time. I got goosebumps right now, family. The lands that are known, the lands that are unknown, everything is above our head, family. We're going to do some live examples right now. Let's get it. So here's a colorized version, family. And like I said, the first time you see this, it's going to be a little hard to understand. But the best way to get your bearings is first finding Australia. Now, let me just help you to appreciate what we're looking at right now is the actual dark spots on the moon called Maria. So once you see Australia, you can kind of go from there. Sorry for the blurriness. I'm trying to work on a more clearer copy. But as you can see, if you go up from Australia, you can get to the nose of India right there, right? Then you have the Arabian Sea, you have Dubai, you have Iran. Look at how much they doctored the map, family. But these rivers right here are a telltale sign. All right, you see this little snake-looking river right here, Ethiopia. What's up? What's up with all my Ethiopians? Okay, there's only so much they could have heard from us, family. Let's move on. So here's a little bit more of a clear shot right here. As you can see, you got India, Sri Lanka, even the small islands on here pop, right? You got beaches that are popping. Okay. Now here's one of my favorites right here. Australia, because they got so many little divots that are noticeable. And right here to the right of it, New Zealand. There it is. We got our little Fiji right there. Okay. Stewart Island. Visible. Okay, and I know the Zealand is kind of covering it up, but this is, like I said, this is the moon. These islands ain't really touching. You can kind of see through the E a little bit, but it's 1-4-1 geography. We're looking at the moon right now, people. Do you understand what we're looking at right now? So close to Russia, right? Like the map that they gave us, we could almost touch it. Yeah, you're right. They can only hide so much. They can only hide so much, family. Look, the Gulf of Alaska. Oh, how convenient. All the little small islands, all the dark spots on the moon, family. That's us. You could literally navigate just using the moon and the compass, and depending on your latitude, if you had a compass, depending on where the moon is in the sky, if you just stand outside with a compass, you can navigate. Okay. Now the moon's image is reversed and flipped depending on where you are, but it's the same concept, family. Once you get your bearings, you can navigate. Like I said, sorry for the blurry letters right here, but you can kind of see right here, Mexico, you got the United States, you got Canada, we got our Colombia and our Brazil who playing. Then we got the extra lands over here that they said never existed. The moon don't lie. Like Yahuwah said, is a faithful witness. You know what I was thinking? Like when the moon is coming up on the horizon, right? And it's so big, we got the big moons, you could just take a snapshot of that and pretty much understand like we've been looking at ourselves the whole time. Now the United States is pretty noticeable because we got so many legs and arms and whoop the wop, you feel me? But yeah, that's us. That's us. Oh, Panama, what's up? Costa Rica, let's go. Of course, we got the Cuba right here. The Gulf of America. That's what Trump would say. Gulf of Mexico, whatever you want to call it. It don't matter. It's all Yahuwahs. It don't belong to none of these people. Colombia, what's up? We're looking at the moon right now, people. Now, like I said in the video earlier, we cannot go north or south past 666, right? That's these red rings right here. We got the Arctic Circle, the Antarctic Circle. But look at Atlantis. Oh, didn't exist, right? Lemuria didn't exist, right? Look at the old maps, family. It was there. They took them off. They put America in the middle of their logo map to hide all the lands closer to the north. Magnetic north, family. That's the way that Yahuwah created it. Look at it. Look at it. Share this video. They're going to take this down. This is where you live. How crazy. We got Miami right there. Like I said, up to New York. We're looking at the map, right? I got to keep saying that because I'm like, yo, this is crazy. LA, Vegas. Shout out to my brothers and sisters. We got Taiwan in the building. We got Japan in the building. South Korea, North Korea. Look at this. Come on. Come on. China, what's up? Mongolia, what's popping? Tibet, let's get it. I'm just shouting out anybody. I'm just happy to see this right here. We got the unfortunate war-torn country, Ukraine right here. Man, I pray for those people out there. We got Turkey. The map they gave us really have Africa real cut off. It looked real crazy, but you can't hide from the Red Sea, right? It's a really noticeable sea right here, right? You got this channel up here, the Black Sea up here. The Gulf of Libya. Let's go. Earth is made special, family. The Almighty is real. His name is Yahuwah, family. Search the scriptures now while he could be found, like the scriptures say. They are planning something big, family. This is not to scare you. This is just to get you prepared. Do you know how humbling it is for me to have to come on here and tell you, like, I sound crazy right now? But on that note, friends, family, my people, share this message. You can't say that you don't know. Once you know, you have to do something about it. Pick up the scriptures. It is the only book telling you what's going on. You cannot walk through this world without the lens of the scriptures, family. Look up Yahuwah. Search him out while he's able to be found. You cannot see this information and turn a blind eye. You are not allowed to go back to sleep, okay? It's a school day. Get up. It's a school day. I'm pulling your leg. It's a school day. Get up. On that note, friends, family, my people, I got one more video if they don't shut me down for this. Shout out one more time. I appreciate you. We out.